We are good. Is the sound coming through now? Confirmed? Okay, I'll come back again. We had a hitch while I was talking. Kumbe, there was no sound that was coming through. I apologize. The technical team have already worked on this, and I think we are now good to go. If there's any comment, let's see them coming through. As I had started, I introduced myself. I am Dr. George Ochiri. I'm the CEO, Harambee Sacco. This afternoon, I'm talking to all of us from my office, Harambee Sacco Plaza in Nairobi. And I wanted to start by, first of all, welcoming all of us to today's webinar. Our main theme of discussion today will be the shares drive, and I'll tell us how do we arrive at that, or what is it when we talk about shares drive. But before that, I feel I want to give us just a little statistics of where Harambee Sacco is today. And we start with our total assets. We are currently at 40 billion. 40 billion, that puts us as position 4 in the Sacco industry in Kenya and in Africa as well. With regards to our loan portfolio stands at 30 billion, and that is a good starting point. Those of us who like mathematics, you can already imagine if we were charging 1% interest per month, 1.5% interest per month, what we're able to generate in a short period of time. Now, before I come to the agenda of shares drive, I also just want to give us the performance with regards to dividend in the last, say, 6 or so years. When we started this journey of transforming Harambee, that is end of 2018, we were not doing very well. If you recall that year, we paid dividend at 4%. And for a long time, this is what our competitors have been shouting about. Now, 2019, we had a small improvement. We went to 6.5%. Then we undertook a number of structural adjustments in the year 2020, including setting up all new FOSA offices across the country. And as a result, our expenditure ratio went up in 2020. So our dividend payout for that year was 6%. But we improved this in the year 2021 to 8%. The year 2022, we paid 10%. End of last year, 2023, we paid 12%, and that is one of the best we have had. End of this year, 2024, our projection is that we are going to pay dividend on share capital at 15%. And I'm going to dwell quite a bit on the issue of shares drive, share capital, investment decision, alternative investment, and this is with regards to Harambee. So coming to our agenda, which we are calling shares drive, first of all, what is a share capital? And what is deposits in a Sacco? I'll explain. In the beginning, there was no difference between the two. Deposits and shares were more or less one and the same. However, in the year 2008, a new Act of Parliament came into place, and this was the Sacco Act 2008, which brought in a number of changes, including introducing what we call ownership or equity. From the Act now, every member of a Sacco, other than having deposits, is expected to have a shareholding. That is equity. You become an owner, part of ownership of that particular Sacco society. And this has been implemented from the year 2010, and this is being supervised by SASRA. So you will find in every Sacco, there is what we call the minimum statutory shares that a member must have. At Harambee, for a long time, we were having minimum statutory share at 20,000. Then 3 years ago, we made an appeal through the annual delegates meeting, and we said we increase this to a minimum share capital of 30,000 shillings. So that is okay. Now, so in our case, we are now talking about Sharedrive. What is a Sharedrive? A Sharedrive is a marketing campaign where we are inviting our members, other than just maintaining the minimum share capital of 30,000 shillings, we're inviting our members to invest now in Harambee. And we are saying that Harambee is an equal destination, investment destination, just like you'd invest in the other blue chip companies, or you would invest in transport, or you would invest in rental income. So who is eligible to participate in this Sharedrive? Only registered members of Harambee Sacco are eligible to participate in the Sharedrive. In case somebody is listening and is not a member of Harambee Sacco and is interested, the requirement is that first and foremost, you must register as a member of Harambee Sacco, which is fairly easy, with the registration fees of 1,000 shillings, and then the share capital, the minimum statutory share capital of 30,000, and then you start making monthly contributions. That qualifies you to be a member of Harambee Sacco. Then you can participate in what we are calling the Sharedrive. Now, what is the procedure when we talk about this Sharedrive? It's very similar to when you hear of a company also going to the open market to mobilize for capital or to mobilize for funding from the potential shareholders or potential investors. So in the side of a company, what normally happens is you prepare a prospectus, you get it approved, then you go to the market, and then the subscribers can then invest in that particular company. In the case of a Sacco, it's similar. What we prepare is now not a prospectus, but a memorandum of information where we summarize the status of the society and the expectation of what we want to do with the entire investment that we're inviting members to participate in, and we get this approved. So in our case, we already have a letter of no objection from the regulator. Our regulator is called Sacco Regulatory Authority, SASRA. The other bit is I wanted to mention the status of this share capital. How long do we want to do this? Our intention is for the year 2024 and the year 2025, we want to market Harambee Sacco equity or shareholding to our members so that our members can invest in Harambee Sacco, so that we sort out a few items which I'm going to mention in a short while. Now, why are we coming to the members and asking them to invest in Harambee Sacco shares? Number one, we have done very well in a number of reforms. In terms of performance, we have done very well. Loan turnaround, we have done very well. You get your loan anytime, any day, except when we had a little surge like early this month, but that was a 2-3 day issue, which we have since sorted out. Then we need to have with us at Harambee 3 items which we want to solve once and for all. Number one, we are not fully compliant with the prudential ratios or the regulatory requirements. There is one called institutional capital. What is institutional capital? This is reserves. This is money that we set aside from the profits that we make. And the requirement by law is that we should have at least 8% of our total assets in form of reserves. That is what we call institutional capital. At Harambee, we are not yet there. By the close of the year 2023, we were at 6.2%. That leaves us with a gap of 1.8%. And one of the reasons why we are coming to the membership is we want to be fully compliant. And to be fully compliant, one of the avenues is to mobilize the share capital. Number two, we've been doing very well. As I already mentioned, the loan book is at 30 billion. In the last 5 years alone, we have grown the loan book from 15 billion to 30 billion. That is a growth of 100%. Unfortunately, the deposits has not grown by a similar percentage. The deposits has grown from 24 billion to about 38 billion. So if you look at the growth of loans, it's been faster than the growth of deposits. And that means what? That means we must obtain some money from somewhere to sustain the demand for loans that we have. And therefore, we have been able to go to the external lenders. And this has affected us in a big way. So we are therefore coming back to the members and we are saying, no, we don't need to go to external lenders to finance our operations. It is not sustainable. For that matter, we are asking our members, instead of us going out there to borrow so that we lend our members, let's mobilize from within ourselves the money that we require. And for that reason, we are offering shares to our membership to stabilize our cash flow once and for all. By the close of last year, our external debt was standing at 3 billion. This has since gone down to about 2 billion. We expect by the end of the year, it should be less than 2 billion. And our intention is, with the successful shares drive and also the other savings that we are making, by end of next year, 2025, we are through, done and dusted with external funding. Harambee henceforth will be financing its operations from contributions from members only. In fact, with the coming in of other units like we hear Sacco Central, an avenue in which Saccos will be interlending, we want to position Harambee Sacco as one of those which will be offering finances to the other smaller Saccos that will be in need. And for us to achieve this, we want to call on our members. Let's take this advantage and invest in our shares drive. Now, number three, on the reason why we are calling on members to invest in the shares drive, we have market for our loans, huge market. If you listen to the growth, in 5 years, we have moved loan book from 15 billion to 30 billion. And the potential is even huge. We could even do more. It's only that we've been restricted because what is our disposal is limited. So we are calling on our members, let's mobilize an investment in the form of share capital, and as a result, we should be able to lend more to our members. Currently, we are facing a very stiff competition, especially from the banks. The banks are offering personal loans for a very long period of time. I think the latest I saw is coming to almost 10 years, 120 months. At Harambee currently, our longest loan period is 96 months. We're in the process of coming up with a proposal to go to 108 months. What will that do? That means a member, even with a small payslip, will be able to access a reasonable amount of money that will enable them invest or undertake projects of their wish. And for us to achieve that, we need to have with us a serious war chest of cash flow. For that reason, we are talking about members to invest in Harambee. Now, we are saying that the return we are guaranteeing for the next 5 years is 15% on share capital. And this we have committed to the regulator, and we are committing the same to the membership. 15% as a rate of return is fairly good. In fact, if you look at the rate of return that was offered by blue chip companies last year, 2023, the highest we came across was 12.5. So we are persuaded that 15% is a reasonable figure. That also gives us a pointer. If you invest in the share capital as we are proposing, and we are guaranteeing you a return of at least 15%, it means that in under 7 years, you will have recouped your investment. So for example, you decide to invest 100,000. In year 1, you have your 15,000. Year 2, 15,000. Year 3, 15,000. By year 7, you will have already recouped your 100,000 shillings, and your original investment, what we call the principal investment, is still there at Harambee for you to continue earning income on. We also did analysis and we compared. When we talk about 15% return on share capital, and you compare this with rental income, we still found if you invest in share capital, you are much better off than rental income. Rental income also faces the challenge of maintenance and occupation, but with this, you are guaranteed once you have invested, you only need to wait for ADM and you access your dividend at Harambee Sacco. We even looked at possibility. How about if I had, say, 2 million shillings and I had the option of investing in a matatu or investing in Harambee share capital? The only difference with the matatu and Harambee share capital is that a matatu will probably be giving you a regular cash flow. But in terms of real profitability, there is possibility that you will not be able to match whoever has invested in Harambee share capital. The only difference is that with regards to share capital, you will wait till ADM is held and approve the payment of the share capital. Now, one of the questions that I have been asked again and again, and it is my wish to explain it again, is that, fine, we invest in this share capital. Will we utilize it to access a loan? No. Currently, the legal framework does not allow use of share capital to access a loan. What will enable you access a loan? Your deposits, the regular deposits that we put on a monthly basis, that will allow you access a loan. At Harambee, we do up to 4 times, depending on the type of loan that you are applying for. Then the other question that is constantly coming to the table is this share capital refundable? Currently, the regulatory framework does not allow the society to refund members the share capital that they have invested. However, the regulatory framework allows for 2 aspects. First, transfer. A member can transfer his or her share capital to another member or whoever they have nominated to inherit their investments at Harambee Sacco. Then number 2, you can also sell, but only to a member. And what the society intends to do to make this work for everybody is we want to copy from Parliamentary Sacco. Parliamentary Sacco, this is for the MPs. What they normally do is once every 5 years, the parliamentarians go back for elections, and you know it from the history, the last 3-4 elections that have been held, about 70% of them, they never come back. They are voted out. And once they have been voted out, what happens is they come to their society and they demand for refunds of their deposits as well as their share capital. So what they are doing there is, whoever has come to apply to be refunded their share capital, they are queued. So if, for example, Peter comes in 1st of January and says, I want back my share capital, then Peter is queued as number 1, then Paul comes in as number 2. So when the new MPs join the society, They do not buy new shares. However, they are first of all sold the shares for those who are exiting. Until all that is exhausted, no new share capital is sold to the new MPs that are joining. So same case with Harambee. What we want to do is, first, we do the Sharedrive. We give an opportunity to our members to invest in Harambee equity. And that is this year, 2024, and the next year, 2025. Then after that, we will be queuing anybody who would want to dispose of their share capital. It is the society which will undertake to get customers to such a member, because the society will keep on recruiting new members. So when new members are recruited, what we will be doing is we will not sell to them new share capital. However, on a queuing basis, we will sell to them shares that members have requested to dispose of, and this will be coordinated by the society itself. Currently, we are not doing very, very well with regards to managing movement of share capital. It is the members who meet themselves out there. They only come to the society for registration and transfer to the new buyers. So, but now we are saying, let's take this as an opportunity, an investment opportunity, and we are giving in our word that we will be the ones coordinating disposal of the shares once a member is satisfied or is tired with being a member of, continuing as a member of the society. There is also good news. When we got opportunity to contribute to revision of the Cooperatives Act, and there is a bill in Parliament that has gone up to the second reading. In that bill, one of the proposals that Sacco societies made was that we be allowed, that is, a Sacco be allowed to buy back its own share capital and take it to reserves. What does that mean? That means Paul is a member of Harambee Sacco. Paul has retired and is okay, wants to quit and exit the Sacco. Paul only needs to inform the society that, yes, I am satisfied, kindly buy back my share capital and pay me my investment. So we need to take note. This is not yet approved. The bill is in Parliament. It has gone through second reading, and we are quite hopeful it should go through within the year. If not for the challenges that we've been having, especially the protests, the expectation was that this bill was to be signed on Ushirika Day. Ushirika Day is the first Saturday of July every year. And if you recall, this year we were not able to mark those celebrations because of the protests that we have been having across the country. So there is nobody who is going to get stuck with their shares. You want to dispose of your shares, you're at liberty. You can sell it to an existing member, transfer it to a beneficiary of your choice, and ultimately, once the bill goes through, the society itself will buy those shares and take them to reserves. And why are we confident that this will go through? The Companies Act 2015, the Companies Act was reversed in the year 2015, and one of the provisions that was approved is that a company in Kenya today can buy back its own share capital. And this has been going on. It's only that there is not a lot of shouting about this, but this has been going on, where you hear when a company's shares pricing is not doing very well in the securities market, all of a sudden they manage it. And I think at least one blue chip company did that the year 2023. They stepped in and stabilized their market price by buying back their own shares. Same case with Sacco societies. We have asked for permission, and once the bill goes through, a Sacco will be allowed to buy back its own share capital, and that will go towards reserves. So in the balance sheet or in the statements of account of the society, there will be a column for reserves on shares. That is whatever they are bought back from the members who are existing. Now, the other question that normally comes time and again, what is the procedure for transferring share capital from one member to another? As a formality, because this is money involved, we normally ask the members to sign up. We have designed a form where a member commits that I, Mr. X, I would like to transfer my shares to Mr. Y, and both parties sign up, and you pay the society a transfer fees. Currently it's at 1,800. We have not revised it. We may probably consider doing so after the shares drive end of 2025. Then the society will effect and move the shares from member X to member Y. The other question, which is also coming through very frequently from the members, is as this goes on, that is the shares drive goes on, what about the members who want to dispose of their shares at the moment? Fine, we can't stop it because there's no law which allows us to stop that kind of transaction, but we want to encourage the members that for this period 2024-2025, let's inject new cash flow into the society. When one buys shares from another member, yes, they improve their share capital, that is true. However, the cash does not come to the society. The cash goes to the member who has exited or who is disposing of their share capital. So our request or our ask as at now, as much as that goes on, let's invest in new share capital. We encourage growth of our own society. The other question that has come in again and again is that fine, we choose to invest in Harambee shares. Yes, what is the benefit to the individual member? The benefit to the individual member is guaranteed income, and here we are saying that for the next 5 years, we are giving a guarantee of at least 15% return on share capital, and then you will continue earning on the principal investment till the day you say, I dispose of my shares at Harambee. And that should be able to stabilize the society once and for all. Now, why are we so confident about the shares drive and the share capital? It's because of the trajectory that we have seen ourselves in. As I've already mentioned, we've grown the loan book by 100% in 5 years. That is from 15 billion to 30 billion. That is not the best we can do. In another 4 or 5 years, we should be talking about 100 billion in form of loan book. For us to achieve that, we need to have a war chest of cash flow. And a war chest of cash flow, this is where we are inviting the members and we are offering to the membership an opportunity to invest. And once again, why are we fairly confident that we'll be able to pay the 15%? This is how it goes. In 2018, end of 2018, now we were starting the agenda of transforming Harambee. Our total revenue, the whole year, 2018, was 2.65 billion. So when we did business, we issued loans, we charged interest, all other non-fundable income, total for the year 2018 was 2.6 billion. Fast forward, end of 2023, we closed the year at 5.65 billion. That was our total revenue for the year 2023. Coming to the year 2024, as at end of July 2024, remember today is 9th of August 2024, as at end of July 2024, we were at 3.5 billion. So already we have generated more than what we used to generate in a whole year. And our expectation for the year 2024, our total revenue should exceed the 6 billion mark. Actually, we are targeting 6.1 billion. And like we've already stated, we are quite clear. With regards to share capital, the return is the guaranteed minimum of 15%. What about interest on the deposits that we are holding? We are targeting 9.5 for the end of the year 2024. And the track record has been very, very clear, right from the year 2019 over to the year 2023, if you look at the audited accounts. What is our theme for the year 2024? The theme for the year 2024 is that this is the turning point. And we want to invite the members to be part of this theme. We've gone through a number of them, like transforming for better, reclaiming the lost glory, the Arambe we want, but for the year 2024, we are very clear. This is the turning point. And what is the game changer when we talk about this is the turning point? The game changer is the shares drive. I forgot to mention to us, like this video and remember to click the subscribe button. Just if you look at, when you do that, we will be notified of the future webinars that will be coming through. At the same time, I want to advise us, if you have a comment, you have questions, just go to the chat section and put in your comment, put in your question. Now, the other bit I wanted us to go through is how can one make a remittance towards the shares drive? It is fairly easy. Number one, if you happen to have cash and you are near any of our branches, you can go to the counter and you make a cash deposit. Number two, if you're having money in your FOSA account, you only need to give instructions either through email or you call any of our branches and we get to transfer from your FOSA account to the shares capital account. Number three is where you are near any cooperative bank or cooperative agent anywhere in the country. We have a cooperative bank account and you can make a deposit to the Sacco account. Anytime you liaise with the officials of the Sacco, we will be able to give you the same. But the easiest, and this one I want us to try even now, wherever you are, and even our colleagues. First of all, congratulations to our colleagues in Haiti. I've just been briefed that it is very early in the morning, and a number of you, I can see you have logged on. You are following what is going on here. The easiest way is you go through our USSD, and this is, you go to star 357 hash ni alama ya reli hash. So star 357 hash. When you dial, it will give you a menu with a number of options, and in the menu of those options, number 7 is the shares drive. So pick number 7 and it will quickly prompt you whether you want to make remittance into the share capital drive from either M-Pesa or from your FOSA account. So choose between the two, FOSA account or M-Pesa. The next, it will enable you or give you a chance. You key in the amount that you want to contribute towards the shares drive. And then the next is you put in your PIN number and instantly you will have already made a remittance towards the shares drive. The other bit that I want to comment on is I want to congratulate in a big way the members that have had confidence. As we are speaking today, since we started the shares drive, the highest investor has put in 1.5 million. And that was in one installment, 1.5 million. And a number of us have since done the same. And we are approaching 50 million in terms of Sharedrive. And it has been a very difficult time. If you recall, the last 3 or 4 months has not been easy for us as a country. I therefore want to urge us as members of Harambee Sacco, let's take this opportunity. We build Harambee once, and we build Harambee once and for all, for eternity. We will not go back to the challenges that we've been having, where loans are delayed, non-compliance is the order of the day, cash flow strain is the order of the day. You know, we have an opportunity. And the other bit that I also wanted to mention is that what are we targeting when we talk about the Sharedrive? Our best intention is that in the year 2023 and 2024 and in the year 2025, we should be able to mobilize about 4 billion Kenya shillings. Why 4 billion? With 4 billion Kenya shillings, we will be able to clear completely any external borrowing that we have. That is number one. Then number two, we will be able to stabilize our cash flow once and for all. And then number three, we will be in a position to give a longer term loans. As I already mentioned, we are talking of a loan for 108 months. Later on, we'll be talking about a loan for 120 months, just like we already have in the banks. So we invite you, members of Harambee, let's invest in our own. Why run around with rentals? Why run around with the matatu crews all over? There is here an opportunity. Invest in Harambee Sacco shares, and you are guaranteed an income every year for the next 5 years of at least 15%. I think with that, I'll be open to also answer a few questions that might come through. I'll just be logging in shortly so that I appreciate which questions have been coming through. Dan, just check if we have printed some. And once again, please like this video. Remember to click the subscribe button. This will enable you to get notifications on the future webinars. At the same time, I want to encourage us, keep on sending the questions, the comments about the Sharedrive, of course, other general issues about the society. Even if we don't answer all of them in this 1 hour period that we are having, we will still come back and we will respond to all of them, and we'll be coming back to you directly so that we answer the same. And I also forgot to mention, if you are running on a checkbook, you can also write us a check, and you bring this as a method of making remittance towards the Sharedrive. And this should be the game changer for Harambee Sacco. Now, I have a question here. There is a member called Daniel Sifuna. Daniel Sifuna is getting us from Somali. Oh, no, he's making a comment. He is saying it's loud and clear. He's able to get us in Kismayu, Somali. Then there is Charles Isaiah. Charles is asking, can I buy share capital for a member who withdrew from the Sacco currently? Yes, the answer is yes. You are not stopped. You can buy a share capital from a member. But like I mentioned, this is okay. It will increase your shareholding. And of course, you will earn dividend on it. But we want to encourage us as much as possible. Let's also inject cash into the society by buying the new shares. And remember, we are saying this time we are not putting a minimum statutory, that is the minimum that each person must have. This time we are inviting members to invest, just like you would invest in a matatu, you'd invest in a building, put in money at Harambee, and you earn on it. There is also a member called Calvin's Andoke. Andoke is saying that the message that usually accompany this is to boost share capital. Is dividend return for 15 years? No. No. The dividend return is 15%. That is, if you invest 100,000, at the end of this year, you will earn 15,000 shillings. And the guarantee that we are offering at the moment is at least 5 years. Why 5 years and not 15 years or 20 years? The engagement with the regulator is within a term of the strategic plan, and our strategic plan lasts for 5 years. So what happens after the 5 years? Yes, we expect the society to continue doing well, and the members should continue earning their returns at not less than the 15%. There is also a member called Hydro Colfer. Hydro is saying, kindly reply to my request on free interest loan for Islamic member of this great Harambee Sacco. Yes, it is true. I want to submit to the members that at Harambee Sacco we are behind. We did not yet get full approval for the Islamic products. But I want to assure Hydro that we are working towards this, and we expect when we turn into the new year, we should be able to have the Islamic approved loans like we have in a number of societies. There is also Felix Mutinda. Felix Mutinda is asking, if you invest in the share capital, is one able to withdraw the same in the future and remain with the principal share capital? I'm sure he's talking about the minimum statutory share capital. Yes, Felix, as you must have heard me explain, the answer is yes. We will create a market, that is after 2025, an internal market within Harambee, where members who want to dispose of a portion of their investment, they can do so, and it is the society which will be coordinating the sale from one member to another member. And basically what we are saying is that after 2025, we are not going to issue new share capital, except we will now allow the new members joining. They buy from members who would like to reduce their investment or would like to withdraw their investment. There is also Jill Bao. Jill Bao is saying, hi, share capital ni gani? Hebu nieleze nipate vizuri. Nitajaribu kwa Kiswahili, lakini mtaniwie radhi, Swahili sio mdomo, hasa pale kwenye nimezaliwa, lakini nitajaribu. Kila mwezi a member makes a remittance in form of savings. Then after a period of time, we allow you as a member, you can take a loan against those savings. Those are your deposits or your savings. That one you can withdraw any day. That is not share capital. Share capital is ownership. You become an owner. You buy into the ownership of Harambee. So, like if you bought shares of, say, Safaricom Limited, then you become part of the owners, the shareholders of Safaricom Limited. The same way, when you buy into the share capital or you participate into the shares drive, then you become part of the owners of Harambee Sacco Limited. There is Nicholas Toroitich. Can I transfer, I know it's referring to deposits, can I transfer my deposits to share capital? The answer is yes, you can, but in this case, you will not be helping Harambee achieve the objectives for which we are doing the shares drive. We are doing the shares drive so that we manage the cash flow, we manage compliance, we be in a position to give longer term loans. The deposits, we already have them, so if you effect a transfer, then we are not achieving those three objectives. And I also want to bring to your attention that partial withdrawal, transfer of deposits to share capital would amount to partial withdrawal, which we currently are not allowed to do except for the members who are retiring and they are moving to Wafanisi. So members who are retiring, yes, you are allowed. You can transfer a portion of your deposits to share capital. To existing members, this is not allowed in the framework. There is another question here. Evans Langat. Evans says, I have 40,000 I want to invest in share capital, but I would like you to accept the ones I bought from two members so that it will be 80,000. Then we add the existing ones. I want to confirm to Mr. Evans Langat, kindly proceed, buy the 40,000 and send to my office the two forms or the forms that you and the other two members from which you bought. We are going to approve the same and you will have your share capital at 40,000. Sorry, 80,000. This is allowed. This is allowed. There is a member. This one must be from Haiti. He's saying, we receive our remuneration in dollars. Can I buy share capital in dollars? The answer is yes. You can buy share capital in dollars. Once you make the remittance, we will use the exchange rate for the day when you send the remittance in dollars, and we will allow you to buy the share capital. There is also a question from Irene Roby. Irene Roby is saying, I am Irene from Mombasa. What is the difference between share capital and deposits? Between the two, which one should I save more and why? Yeah, thank you very much, Madam Irene. As I've explained, for many years, what we call shares and what we call deposits were one and the same. Clarity on this came when we had the Sacco Act 2008, and the law now defined that each member of a Sacco needs to be an owner, not just a member, an owner. So you are an investor. When you talk about your deposits, those are your investments, which you can pull out any day. But now you need to own the Sacco. So when you buy shares, and what we are now calling the share capital, you become an owner. So you find you are an owner of Harambee Sacco to the extent of the shareholding or the share capital that you have already bought to that tune. And that brings to another question which another member is having here. How much share capital can I buy? First, thank you and welcome. The maximum that a member can buy is 25% of the total shareholding. It will be very, very difficult for one member to buy 25% of the total shareholding. Today, as we are speaking, the total worth of share capital at Harambee Sacco is 2.5 billion. Now, when you talk of 2.5 billion, that is before we complete the shares drive that is going on in the year 2024 and the year 2025. 25% of 2.5 billion is coming to 0.25. That is coming to 625 million. That will be a tall order. So the answer to the question of the maximum, its total is 1/5 or 25%. There is very likelihood that one member can do the same. Who is the total, the highest investor today? Is at 11 million. We have one member who has invested in share capital to the tune of 11 million. So when you talk of 11 million, compare it with 625, the gap is too big. There is another member called Joram Ramos. Joram says, given the evolving financial landscape, why should we continue our membership with the Sacco? What specific actions are being taken to ensure that the Sacco remains competitive and beneficial to us? So there are two questions here. One of it is why should we continue with our membership to the Sacco? I will answer that. A Sacco is a unique financial institution which gives members an opportunity both to save and then number two, access affordable credit and much easier than we would have in a number of financial institutions. Savings is not easy. Even if you are a farmer, to take a portion of what you have earned and take it to the bank in form of savings is not that easy. So what is it now? A Sacco, especially for the salaried members like most of us, we do check off. So you do not even receive the money. It is deducted at source and sent to your Sacco in form of your own savings. Then at a later date, against your own savings, a Sacco gives you opportunity to access easy and affordable credit facility. And most of us, you will probably have testimonies similar to mine, similar to a number of members. Your first house, your first car, for those who have gone back to school to do masters or even PhD, you'll find the Sacco is one of the easiest fallback. I know Joram is probably looking at, with the number of fintechs that are coming up, technology coming up, why Sacco? Sacco is still relevant. The money is there for you. And for those who are still in active employment, like myself, a Sacco is an opportunity where you have to save for your fallback when now you retire. And our colleagues who are now in Wafanisi, they'll tell you, the fastest money you can access when you retire is your Sacco savings. And at Harambee Sacco, what do we do at the moment? When you retire, we allow you to transit. You allow you to transit from your department, assuming you're, for example, in the office of the president. Of course, you have been given a retirement letter. Now you transit from the office of the president to what we are calling Wafanisi account. And we allow you to immediately access up to 50% of your savings. And that should be your transport home. And this has helped a number of members. So your Sacco savings is your fallback once the first fallback once you retire. I think for those of us who are in still active employment, maybe we hear the reality is that the pensions do delay, sometimes up to 6 months, sometimes up to 1 year. So for that reason, I would like to encourage Joram and any other member, save and save more in form of your deposits, and then invest as much as possible in what you are calling shares capital. And that also brings in another question which is coming in. What specific actions are being taken to ensure that Sacco remains competitive and beneficial? So one of it is, if you look at the kind of capacity that we are investing in the society, we are now employing as qualified as PhD holder. For example, I'm not the only PhD holder in the Sacco family. We have got about 6 PhD holders as CEOs in the Sacco family in Kenya. That is number one. So Sacco is now attracting equally competitive workforce, just like we would be having with the banks and the other financial institutions. Then number two, you must have noted in the recent past that the level of technology the Saccos have employed, and particularly at Harambee Sacco, is equally competitive, comparable with what the banks have in Kenya and the world over. And we will continue investing in the same. I'm sure you are enjoying the services. I don't know where Joram is, but even our members in Haiti, they are able to apply for loans when they are in, there's a very difficult name, it's called Port Reis. There is some city there. They are able to apply for loans when they are in Haiti, just like a member who is based in Madaraka would also apply for a loan. For members who are in Kismayu, the far-flanked areas, they are already used to this. So we already have the technology that ensures that the society is as competitive as any other financial institution. Then I also think I want to submit to the members that with regards to stability of Harambee Sacco and the Sacco family, the creation of the regulator, that is SASRA, has helped in a very big way. SASRA, we submit reports on a monthly basis, and that is the basis on which they are able to test which Sacco is not doing well, and they take intervention measures. Harambee Sacco, we are big beneficiaries of SASRA services, and they give guidance. They also give regulatory cautions where necessary. We get approval so that you will not just wake up and you find the Sacco has started lending people for 200 months and the money is not repayable back. The other bit is we've also strengthened in a big way the collections and the remittances. And I want to submit to the members of Harambee, our default rate is very low, below 2%. Industry standard 5%, or if you call it the rule of the thumb. So at 2% default rate, I want to confirm to the membership, Harambee Sacco is stable, and you can be sure your investment is safe with us. Then one is asking, why should I save? Where should I save more? Deposits or share capital? It should go with your age. For those of us who are still in 30s, 40s, and we are going to be taking big loans, definitely you will save more on deposits so that you are able to access more loan facility. But as you turn towards 50, 60, my advice would be you now invest more in share capital where you have guaranteed rate of return every year. You can imagine, I've already mentioned to you, one of our members has got share capital worth 11 million. You can calculate for yourself how much we are going to pay at the end of this year. And as you turn towards retirement, you need to have such passive income. That is, you're not working for it. It is the money that is working for you. It will be the duty of Harambee to ensure that whatever you have invested at Harambee is earning you that kind of income. There is Eliana, a member called Eliana, calls herself or himself Eliana the Game Changer. This engagement gives me confidence to continue with you. What is the minimum share capital? As I've already indicated to us, one share of Harambee is worth 100 shillings. In our case, the minimum statutory, that is what the law says, is 30 30,000. But here we are saying, fine, on top of the 30,000, invest a little more now for your own return. So do 100, do 200. As I've mentioned to you, one of us is already doing 11 million. And as we were talking about this, when we started this story around February, I already mentioned to you, one member has put in additional 1.5 million. There is Joseph Kamodo. Joseph is saying, Harambee Sacco has got so many assets at its disposal. Explain to us, how do we benefit as members? Yes, it is true. I want to confirm that Harambee Sacco has got a number of assets, particularly land and some buildings across the country. And as Kamodo has requested, I would like us to be prepared. We are going to be advertising in the course of this month disposal of Nanyuki. We have got some land in Nanyuki. We've tried to do the same in Mombasa, but the prices or the offers that we are getting, they are too low. We have property in Nyali, so it is true that is due for disposal. We also have other property in Limuru Road, Westlands, Kisumu, Siaya, and we are going to be alerting members from time to time. You come in, but the nearest that is ready is Nanyuki. There is also Muranga that we are working on the legal formalities, and this will be available for disposal at the earliest opportunity. There is Asha Nguta. Nguta is asking, is the 15% share capital dividend taxable or not? Yes, the 15% dividend is taxable. Currently, we are taxing it at 5%, but the finance bill of 2021 had pushed it to 15%, but there is a court case that is still pending. That is why up to now we are still having withholding tax of 5% on the dividend. So that goes to the government. That does not come or is not retained by Harambee. Then there is George Koronyahi. George Koronyahi is asking, if I boost my shares, can I be able to withdraw the ones I boosted with after 5 years? The answer is yes, as I've already explained. Yes, the Sacco is going to create a market within the Sacco amongst the members, and you should be able to dispose of what you believe excess share or investment in the Sacco. There is also Kennedy Shikuku. We have been mocked for a long time by other Sacco members about dividends. What is happening? I am Kennedy Shikuku from Konoin. Kennedy, yes, there's a time the society was not doing very well, and I think the worst in our recent history was the year 2018 when we paid 4%. But Kennedy, if you got me right, we moved from 4%, 6%, 8%, 10%, and end of last year, 2023, we paid 12%. And here we are promising end of this year, 2024, we are going to pay 15%. I want you to confidently engage whoever is mocking you that Harambee the giant is no longer limping. The giant is back, and the giant is back to fulfill its objective to the members. There is John Jogo. John is asking, what happened to the share for those who had shares in Harambee Sacco Plaza initially? Okay, John, I'll explain this. It is true, in the mid-80s, when Harambee Sacco Plaza was being constructed, the then members bought a share capital or shares in the plaza. However, the total investment they made could not complete the construction. So what happened? The society went to Cooperative Bank and borrowed to complete the building. On completion, a dispute arose. The members who had bought the share capital brought in that same question of who is the owner of the plaza? Is it the original members who bought those shares or even the members who joined later on? And the debate went up to the tribunal, and the tribunal found that no. The loan was repaid by monies from the Sacco. It was not just those who bought the initial shares in the plaza. And the ruling was that whoever had got those shares, they be converted into deposits in the society. And that is what was done. Just in case yours was not done, John, the door is still open. Bring your original share certificate. We will convert it into your deposits. So the plaza officially belongs to Sacco. It doesn't belong to any individual member. There is Loishek FD is asking, why is my loan in payslip and loan balance in my account very different? In payslip, it is higher. Oh no, it's very simple. Normally, in the payslip, we normally have a constant amount being deducted. So you'll find when we are submitting these deductions, we already calculate the interest that you are going to pay over the period which you have chosen. So for example, if you choose to pay a loan within 12 months, what we submit to your employer is the principal amount plus the loan interest. So for example, if you borrow 100,000 and we calculate in 12 months, the interest will be 12,000. What we submit to your employer is 112,000. So you'll find in your payslip, it is reading 112,000. When you come to the society and you ask for your statement, you'll find it is less than 112,000. And this will talk about, this will be replicated even in the other financial institutions. I'll try to cover a few more. I'm seeing here there is William Lesira. Can a member reduce his or her savings to add up the share capital? The answer is yes. If, for example, you have been making a monthly remittance of 10,000 towards your deposits, and you feel like, fine, let me also increase my share capital by 5,000, you're allowed. You give instructions to the Sacco, 5,000 will go towards your deposits, 5,000 will go towards your share capital. Then as I try to close, there is another question by a member who is asking about, can I use my shares or share capital to access or repay a loan? No, it's not possible. Share capital, as you've had been mentioned, is highly regulated. It is an investment. So you cannot use it to repay your loan or use it to access a loan facility. I think I want to summarize. Of course, there are many more questions. We are going to continue answering them. But I want to summarize by saying we invite all members of Harambee Sacco to invest in Harambee Sacco, just like you would invest in another destination, be it shares in another company, be it investment in rental, investment in transport. This is an equal investment decision. And I want to take this opportunity to thank all the members who have taken this positively and have already invested and are continuing to invest. From time to time, we'll be having such kind of discussion, and we'll be giving you update of how we are doing with regards to the shares drive. Otherwise, I wish to take this to thank you very much, all the listeners, and share this with the other members who may not have got an opportunity, probably because of the nature of job or the time difference that we have across the globe. Once again, this is Dr. George Ochiri, the CEO, Sacco. Thank you very much.